We begin tonight with reaction to the Highland Park shooting and how close Madison was to potentially getting attacked. Right now, Robert Crimo III's past contact with authorities is under scrutiny. Police say they were contacted by Crimo's family members multiple times dating back to 2019. However, Crimo was still granted a firearm card by Illinois State Police, with his father sponsoring the application for the card. The agency says Crimo passed 4 background checks between June of 2020 and September of last year. Meanwhile, it's not clear why the second attack in Madison didn't happen. Authorities say they believe the suspect didn't put in enough research and preparation in order to carry it out. Earlier today, Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway spoke with CNN about handling gun violence in the wake of the tragedy. And during that interview, she talked about how the gun violence epidemic is multifaceted and what Madison is doing to prevent it.
I do think it's important for us to take a public health approach here, and that's what we're doing here in Madison. We have an Office of Violence Prevention in our public health department. We're funding violence interruption and violence prevention efforts right alongside with our police department's work to take a data-based approach to reducing gun violence in our streets.
Now, police, of course, play a big role in keeping us safe during an active shooter situation, but there are questions tonight about why police didn't share more with all of us locally. Catherine Merck asked someone who teaches officers how to handle these very situations, and she's live in Madison tonight with what she learned. Catherine?
We know that Robert Crimo was in Madison just hours after he committed a mass shooting in Illinois. And we also know that he had the same plans to do what he did in Highland Park here. But almost all of us didn't know any of that until 2 days after the shooting. And an expert tells me that it's more complicated than you might think to get that information out there.
There's a lot of information that the public does not know about these types of events.
Brian Landers wants to be clear. There's simply some things police can't share with you by design.
It's not like a tornado where there's a definitive estimated path.
Landers works to create police training for active shooter situations. He says responding to these types of threats is complicated.
Although we live in a day and age in which we want to consume our alerts and our news instantaneously, law enforcement is prioritizing. So if they're prioritizing that they might have a lead on where the shooter might be, or their focus is on a specific target area, then there may not be an opportunity to inform the public of that.
Police in Madison say even though the FBI told them to activate their SWAT team, MPD didn't know that Robert Crimo was in the area. Landers says these events happen quickly, making it hard to give confirmed information to the public.
The average length of an active shooter situation is 4 minutes. There is no way in 4 minutes that any police agency is going to be able to respond, engage that threat, stop that threat, and start to evacuate and treat the wounded, and then simultaneously get the word out to the public.
Moving forward, Landers says this is a problem that police in our area and across the country will still need to be able to handle. That includes getting out information in a clear manner and deciding when to share it with you.
It would be unacceptable for law enforcement to ignore the potential risk, thinking that it wouldn't happen there, or thinking that that they are impervious to a type of tragedy like this.
Late this afternoon, the Madison Police Department gave me a call and gave me some more of a timeline as to when Robert Crimo was in Madison. Police say they got a call at about 5 o'clock that Crimo's phone pinged in the Madison area on the 4th of July. Now, that one ping plays an important factor here. They tell me that one ping means they don't necessarily know if Robert Crimo was there. If it was more than one, they tell me they probably would have sent out an alert. But one ping means that it could have just been his phone instead of Robert Crimo himself. Of course, we eventually learned that Robert Crimo was in the area and he left his cell phone at an auto repair center in Middleton. Reporting live in Madison, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.